Thank you. Thanks for making my job a lot more easier. So we're running through business ethics. I'm really sure you guys must have gone through like series of sessions and the technical part of business. You've done financial modeling. You've done evaluation and others. There is one very, very important part, which is, there's no email writing, which is business ethics. And it's about the lifeline of any business. It's easy to say, I know how to do financial modeling. I know how to do evaluation. I know how to use Excel. But do you really understand how the business run, or how to behave in the company, or how to behave in the business? Now, you might not be very sure, but face value, you know. When you see a UBA staff and a GTB staff, do you know the difference between both of them? No, okay, so let's not even say now. Now, look like everybody's trying to catch up with everybody. But like 5 years ago, it's clear to say a UBA staff from a GTB staff, right? And that's because they have organizational culture. We won't go into that today, but it is really, really critical. You cannot jump into any organization and assume that you know how they behave in that organization. Every organization have their own different culture. Like every organization have their own different culture. But today is just business ethics. And I don't want to define it because I want to assume you are smart. Business ethics, simple. Do you understand? No, who doesn't understand? But some people said no. Okay, good. Beatrice, please help me keep time. Oh. Okay. Before the anointing fall on me now and I forget I'm supposed to somewhere. Okay, so it's simple. Business ethics. You know what business means? Yeah. You know what ethics means? I didn't get that. Just need to give me business ethics. I don't know. I mean, just do measure. Okay, but so when we're talking about business in this context, it's referring to the organization. Okay, we're talking about business referring to the organization. So even if it's a one-man business, it is an organization. We're not assuming so. It is so because a one-man firm. Even if he's doing it, he has the accounting section, he has the sales section, he has even maybe sales, he has marketing, but people merge sales and marketing, and he has HR. So let's even say 3. So he has finance, HR, and marketing. Tech. Who take help? Who take help? Oh yeah. So. At least has 3. If he doesn't want to die early, as soon as his business starts increasing, he would learn to hire more people and take it or leave it. That's already becoming a large organization. So now the business itself is the organization. Now jumping on to the side of ethics. Ethics is the moral standard that is expected from anybody at a particular point in time. So business ethics then mean the moral standard or moral guidelines expected from people in an organization. Now, the way you behave in an organization determines a whole lot, matters a whole lot. Now, I would not give you book definitions. I will not give you a lot of theories today, but I'll go like really, really practical. We'll look at organizations and see the things, what you're expected to do. Now, one very fundamental thing in organization is communication. So communication is usually verbal or written. Okay. Now let's do the written part, which is these days emails. I'm sorry, but I have seen a couple of emails from this room, And I must say, should I say we or I? We are not really, really proud, like, of the emails. Like, we're not really proud of the emails. Some emails have actually left this room, and I'm like, okay, really, this kind of people send this kind of emails. Emails are usually very, very important. Did you take an email writing session? Really? Did you take an email writing session? Email writing session. No, that's Outlook, using Outlook. Well, have you like taken a session on how to write emails? Wow. I am sorry. Really sorry about this. So we will just do this like right now. Really fast. Now, we all assume we know how to send emails, which is very, very simple, very easy, very nice. But a lot of issues jump up from the emails. Now, when sending emails, be very sure that you have the right content in your toolbox. So when you open your compose box, there is a box at the top here, too. Now, please ensure that you have the person's email address properly written in this box. Now, when I say properly written, sometimes you don't take note of some things, but it happens. So tell me your email address. That's hard though. Or is it the way you said it that is hard? Very, very nice email. But let me use another one. That one look like it's hard. Yeah, tell me yours. See email. That's not the email that went even. Yours will enter. Adiola. SLS. SN. Okay, good. At Gmail, yeah? Now, so he told me his email. But what I heard was Adiola SNS. And I go ahead to write Adiola SNS at gmail.com. Do you think he will get this email? Obviously not. Now you need to ensure that you need to be sure that you have written the right email in this email box. Now sometimes my email address is tolushe.olanio@gmail.com. Some people know my name. I am Toluwase Olanio. Apologies. Okay, I think you guys know me, so I didn't bother introducing myself. My name is Toluwase Olanio. I work for them at Talent Mind. Okay. Now, people just assume that, we know his email address, we know his name is email address, toluwase@gmail.com. And you send an email to that email address. Unfortunately, I will not get it. Now, in the line of work in an organization, the fact that you just assume that, toluwase.olanio@gmail.com is his email address, and you sent an email to that, I don't get it. You have caused a breach in communication in that organization. So you want to send an email to biodu@talentmind.com that you will not come on so day, and you send it to abiodu@talentmind.com. Because you have not communicated well, we don't know, or he doesn't know that you are not coming on that day. Now you need to ensure that you've written email properly here. Now there's another box like under it. Who knows what it is? Okay. There's another one under it. Okay. Now, so using the CC and the BCC is really very technical in an organization. If you're sending an email to your boss, to your topmost, say you're sending an email to the MD, and it's an email meant for him, and he has not asked you to copy any other person, please do not, and you want to copy your own immediate boss. Do you understand what I've just said? Like you want to copy your immediate boss. So Adiola is my immediate boss. I want to let him know that, hey, I am sending something. Okay, do you know what the CC is used for? Yeah, it's to copy some people in the email. Now, Adiola is my direct boss, but I want to let him know that I'm copying the MD in an email. Sometimes it is rude if you send an email to the MD, you now copy your boss. Sometimes it is rude. So some people will not tolerate it. If your organization does not tolerate such, please put Adiola where? BCC. If you put Adiola in BCC, nobody would know that you've copied Adiola. Now, if you want to send Adiola an email, but because you're also you're looking out for favor in the sight of the MD, you now say, okay, good. I'll send an email to Adiola, but I would copy my boss. You need to be sure that your boss is ready to receive an email via BCC before you BCC him. Do you understand this thing? Do you understand? Or do you want to take it again? Now, how would you feel if I send your result, and while I was sending your result to you, I copied everybody in this room? How would you feel? Obviously. No, he just assumed his result. He assumed his result is. I didn't say so. Okay. But I could send him his result the first time, and he said to me, I didn't get it. So the safest thing for me to do the next time I'm sending it is to put like 4 people here in blind copy. So I put them in blind copy. There is no way he will tell me he didn't get the email, because 4 other people got it, right? Yeah. But then it would be offensive for him if he had seen that I put it in CC. So we need to learn to use the 2, the CC, and the BCC. Sometimes it could be rude. Sometimes it can be offensive when you copy people you're not supposed to copy. Now, if you copy your boss or you copy the MD in the email, you can also state it in the body of the email that I've also copied so person, just so the person knows. The person knows that you're not trying to be smart. Now, the next point is the subject. Please and please, never be in a hurry to send an email without putting a subject. Okay, someone has a question. Okay. Yeah, so 2 will be to him, and blind copy will be to the 4 people. But he would not know that I sent to those people. But they would know that I sent it to him. But he would not know that I sent to them. So I'm putting that in private. So he won't be angry that I already sent his result to other people. Okay. 2, no. Because it will prompt you to say, who are you sending it to? Do you get? Yeah, so your email provider will ask you, who are you sending it to? So, in that case, you can send it to yourself. Do you get? So, you could probably send it to yourself and not to someone else. So, my email address is adiolasns@gmail.com. I can send it to adiolasns@gmail.com. I will receive it. Every other person will receive it as blind copy. So you don't know the people that have copied. So a lot of times, they'll probably want to send an email to all of you in this class. When you receive the email, you see like it was sent to only you, right? You don't see any other person in the box. But we probably have sent to like 1,000 persons. So do you understand that? Any other question around that before I move? Okay, again, never be in a hurry to send an email without putting the subject. And make sure that the subject, so your subject is supposed to define your email. The subject is supposed to be a summary of your email in few words. Usually people use it to reference. Now, never be in a hurry to send it. Now, if you're probably I'm sorry I'm moving from business ethics to sending emails. You should have done this before now. If you're sending an email for a job application, please don't send the subject as my CV. A lot of you do that. You're saying it as my CV. Just imagine I get 20 my CVs. Or just imagine everybody in this room decides to send their CVs as my CV. How will I be able to find yours? I have to search for your name, right? Well, if you put, I'm sorry, or Adiola finance resume. So I see a subject says, oh, Adiola's finance resume. I know that the resume that he has sent at this time is basically for him to apply for a finance role. But when you send my CV, I have like 50 my CVs. Well, how many of you saved your CV as my CV on your computer? Let's even first deal with that. No, if you do, don't be shy. You saved we saw when you sent your email, when you sent your CV. So this is not like you're not talking. We saw when you sent your CV. How many of you saved your CV as my CV on your computer? Okay. Just in case you save it that way, please change it to your name. So it's easy to track when people are tracking it. Now, your subject, let it be catchy. You see, people send you emails and they send stuff like, open this email now. Important, urgent. I mean, when you send email with this subject, if Google has found a way to just spam your email, just spam it now. But there are catchy things you can. The people send me emails sometimes. I look at the subject. I'm not bothered about what the content is because I'm sure it's something not very serious. Okay. So for people to open your email, sometimes you send Dangote an email, or you send top guys emails, and you're wondering why they are not opening it. I mean, maybe the subject is not even catchy. If you send an email and the subject is cement factory proposition for you, and you send it to someone like Dangote, what do you think it will do? Like even his PA will be so quick to open it. But if you send a subject email to someone like Dangote and say, introducing Toluwase Olaniyan, do you think he will take that serious? Obviously not. Or you won't send that same proposal, that cement factory proposal, and you just send it as cement proposal or factory proposal. He's not sure. He has so many factories, but then you know that he's big on cement at this point in time. He wants to take over the whole cement industry in Africa. And he said, cement factory proposal for you, for Dangote. He's quick to open it like, okay, he wants to see what you're proposing. Do you get? So always ensure that your subject is quite catchy. Be creative about it. Now, in your salutation, please, know the person you're sending an email to and know how to address it properly. Don't send an email to, is that what? I think it's that. Oh, dear sir, madam, please, try not to. You want to send email, please don't do the dear sir / madam. It looks generic. If you send an email to Talent Mind, to info, and you say dear sir or madam, I am wondering, okay, like who are you trying to, whose attention are you trying to get? It's just generic. But if you had gone to Talent Mind site where you got the info, just assume you're a random job applicant and you want to apply for a job, and you had picked the info and you want to send us your CV, be smart enough to look at the team section. Either you send it to someone or you send it to a role. Say, dear senior associate or dear associate. Now, if you say dear associate, we have in mind the people that are on the associate level and we know who you might be referring to. When you say dear sir or madam, I know that you copied that dear sir or madam plus the email. You copy from somewhere, attach your CV and paste it, and you must have sent this to 1 million persons. I'm not taking you serious. Now, do a bit of research on the person you're sending an email to. So take, for example, you met someone on LinkedIn and you want to send the person an email. If you are not very close to the person, You probably would just want to do, dear Mr. So. You probably would just, to be on the safe side, use his full name, dear Mr. Toluwaseolaniyan, because you're not sure which one is my surname or which one is my name. So for a name like Fatai Olayemi, which one is the surname? Which one do you think is the surname? Well, yeah, his surname is Olayemi, the name is Fatai. But you're not sure. If you say, dear Mr. Fatai, Mr. is supposed to be used on the surname. So you will be, so it's huge blunder if you're starting on that note. But if you do dear Mr. Fatai Olayemi, you are just safe. He then will sit down to read your email. But then when you do dear Mr. Fatai, well, you probably don't know me too well. Now, but then if you know the person well, you probably can do, dear Mr. Fatai. But if you don't know him well, just cut him on Instagram or on LinkedIn, you should do, dear Mr. Fatai. And the body of your email should be as comprehensive as it is. If it's someone you're just meeting for the first time via email, please mention that, I got your contact from LinkedIn and I am mailing you as regards this and this. Okay. Now your salutation, if it's the first time and if it's official, should be, your closing should be yours faithfully. People do warm regards, best regards. You need to be very careful with that because it's also tricky. It has just rained and you're sending warm regards to your boss who is single and you're a very fine chick. And you're sending warm regards. Well, he's thinking warmly. Yeah, so, to be on the safe side, usually, probably want to send best regards, as the case may be. So I know you guys are smart. You would know at what point. So there's no strict rule as to, on this note, you must end your email like this. But you know what the circumstance is to know how to then send your email. Do you understand that? Okay, any question before I quickly move out of this so we can move to what we're here for? Okay, good. Now, the communication via email is one of the most important form of communication. Now, you need to ensure that it is very clear. It is very clear. Now, every business requires that you do things ethically. So I will run through the basic principles of business ethics. Number one, honesty. So every organization expects that you are honest. Now, whatever organization you find yourself, ensure that you are honest. Some has to foster honesty, and so honesty. Let me leave it at that. People do open door policy these days. Do you know what open door policy means? So you can walk up to anybody. People do first name basis. So you can call people by their first name. So you can call, well, it's hard in Nigeria, let me be honest with you. It's hard in Nigeria. If you go and call your MD by first name. But then, it's basically so that you can be honest and you can always be open to talk to this guy. So, business ethics requires honesty. Particularly because you guys are in the investment banking space. That's why this is even coming as number one. You know what? How many of you guys are in sales and trading? In fact, you know the investment banking space generally is you are trading with people's money, right? Like you literally, when you have people's money, you know you have their life. You know, right? You don't know. You know you have their life. If you are trading on the floor, you have their life. If by mistake, something happened to their money, you know it's big wahala. So at every point in time, you need to be able to advise your clients honestly, and you need to be sure that you're not using their money to trade your own personal stuff. Now, so after honesty is integrity. Every organization, no matter what the organization does, put integrity as top notch. Well, a lot of people say that a lot of companies in Nigeria don't have integrity. I mean, who share that sentiment? Who share that sentiment? That a lot of the companies in Nigeria don't have integrity. So integrity is, they say this and that's what it is. So do you share the sentiment that they don't have integrity? Some of them, like all banks have integrity. But most of them will say integrity is our watchword. But you doubt. One day you work for one of them, and people will be saying this thing. I wonder how you feel. But whichever way, I mean, your integrity should be core. I think most of them have integrity. Probably they just have like downtime issues once in a while, which affect their operation. Now, competence is what I would say is number 3. In the first place, business ethics. If you are not competent, if you cannot do a job, don't bother applying. Don't bother applying. How many of you have started applying for jobs here? I need to be sure. Huh? I mean, wait, let me ask. How many of you have started applying for jobs? Started applying for jobs like actively? Why? Which years are in your penultimate or final year? Okay. So you have started applying for internship. So can I say job? Now people are looking at people are wicked though. So how many of you have started applying for internships? So some people might not be interested though. Okay, so how many of you sincerely, you know that in the process you've applied for some job roles that you cannot do, some internship that you know does not fit your profile? Oh, you edit your CV. and that's it. Yeah. So it's business ethics. Competence is key. Now, you're not even in the workspace already. You're already applying for a job that you cannot do. Peradventure, the interviewer is tired and the person just, well, because you speak very good English, the person decides to bring you in. So what will happen? You just want to mess up the system. You watch YouTube videos. Okay. But competence is always is key. And is one slick business ethic that a lot of people do not bring into play. Now you're saying you watch YouTube videos. Do you know there's some people that still will not be fine with watching YouTube videos? They don't want to know. You've hired them to do this thing. They can do small. The small they can do is what they will keep doing. Now, in business, the business wants to grow. Businesses keep evolving. So you need to understand that your competence and your skill needs to keep what? Exactly. So you cannot afford to say, oh, and that's what has killed a lot of businesses in Nigeria. So you go to NEPA. How many of you used to pay NEPA bill in NEPA in those days? You pay NEPA bill. How easy was it? You're not that old. So you didn't pay NEPA bill. No, speak for yourself. Some people say they pay NEPA bill. So how easy is it paying NEPA bills? How easy was it? Yeah, tell them they don't know. How easy was it paying NEPA bill? Yeah, the queue is like very long. Sometimes they don't even have light. I think it's just a spark. I think it's just a spark. Okay. Now, so what kind of people did you find in NEPA office then? Old people, like very old people, right? Yeah, and what they do outside, they just keep gisting. Now, I don't have anything against old people. I'm just saying. Now, these people are just used to, this is the way we have been doing this thing since. This is the way we should do it. And they just refuse So what happened to NEPA eventually? But it's no longer NEPA. But you refuse to call them their new name, Abi. You're still calling them NEPA. I mean, so it's just filled with. So the basic essence, right? The major essence of business ethics, or the major essence of people being ethical in business, is so that the business can grow. If the business is not growing, you probably should watch the ethics of the people in that business. Now, that's probably what killed companies like NEPA and other companies. Their business ethics were really bad. And that's because competence seems to be on the downside for them. They refuse to, so most of them, they say they are going for seminar and training. I don't know what they do in that seminar and training. Most of them, they just come back with bag and another bag. One bag has... Okay, so have at the back of your mind that in business ethics, for your company to grow, for you to be able to take your business or your company to the next level, competence is what? Is key. Competence is what? Okay. Now, so I'll take two and I'll run off. The next one is being law-abiding. Okay, being law-abiding. Say, organizations have rules and regulations. Organizations have rules and regulations. It is always advised that you adhere to these rules and regulations. Now, people who design these rules and regulations, they're not mad people. People who say that you can only go for 15 days leave, they know what they are saying. It's because if you go on leave beyond 15 days, some other people might not be able to go on their own leave. Some organizations say it's 30 days. Now, these rules and regulations are very, very important. I know there's one rule that people don't like, and that's resuming work at 7 o'clock. How many of you like that rule? Resuming work at 7 o'clock. If you close by 2. But organizations know why they say you resume at 7. You say you don't like resuming at 7 o'clock, and you're investment bankers, my heart goes out to you. But I mean, you can't run away from it. You will trade all night at some point and have to be in the office. I mean, that's why I can't do investment banking. So I salute you. Now, 7 o'clock, because they know that banks, you have to be in the office, say by 7, so that you can prepare yourself and be right frame of mind before 8. Because bank opens at what? At 8. Now, they also know that in between 8 and 5 o'clock, you will still use some things to do your personal time. So they want you to come really, really early. And that's why the banking structure is like that. You have to wake up early, close late. Now, they say if you don't balance your account, you cannot go home. Do you know why? It's simple. If you don't balance your account today, you cannot start business tomorrow. Only if you agree to come to work 5 o'clock, balance the account, then start the day. Would you agree to? So we just have reasons for this thing. It's not as if your boss is just a mad person. I just want you to be in the office till 10 o'clock doing nothing. Do you understand now? So these things have rules. If you can balance your account as you are finishing work, I'm not sure anybody will say, okay, stay back, sit down, be looking at my face. I mean, that's not what you're paid to do. So being law-abiding, if it's part of the organizational system, please stay by. Okay, so, sorry, now I take two more. Organizational culture. Every organization have their culture. Organizational culture is the way of life of that organization. Is the way of life of that organization. Please, try to be very open to new organizational cultures. For some organization, teamwork is key. I would say this to you because I know you're going to intern with foreign investment banks. For a lot of, the only place where you're allowed to be very selfish is in Nigeria. I mean, outside Nigeria, these guys, I mean, people don't encourage you being selfish. Ask me why. Because you will eventually not finish your job or your work, or it will affect other people when you are selfish. So people encourage working in teams. So if where you are, the culture encourages working in teams, please, if you're a very selfish person from now, start learning to work with people. And that's why we group you and put you in groups. And we say by force, everybody in the group must take part in that exercise. It's so that you can learn to work in groups. There are people here in this room that they prefer to stay on their own and finish the work and submit than to work in team. Am I right? If you ask them why, they have their reasons. Oh, so if you're one of them, which is not bad, do you want to tell us your reason? No, so people say it helps them to finish their work on time. They say it's faster. They say when I work, like when I do my thing myself, it's faster. At least I won't have to go through the pain of, oh yeah, you bring your part. They'll slow me down, right? But please, if the organizational culture encourages working in teams, please work in teams. I mentioned UBA and GTB earlier on. You know, for all the banks, they have like different kind of style, right? Well, do you know that recruitment for Zenith Bank is different from recruitment from Access Bank? Do you notice the people you see in Zenith Bank? You would never go to bank. Hey, Jesus. You don't go to Zenith. Oh, sorry. I've forgotten you don't have money to... You don't have the minimum account opening balance. So which bank do you use? Let me... Oh yeah, GT Bank, zero account. Access Bank, no account. But you don't use Union Bank, do you? You don't use Union Bank. You don't use UBA, do you? You use UBA because it's in your school. I'm sorry, but who goes to UBA to go and open an account? It's hard. Yeah, so now if you look at the culture or the way Access Bank is a bit different from the way GTB is. So you go into GTB Bank and they are making you feel like you are not supposed to come into the bank to come and meet us. You can do this thing yourself. I mean, have they made you feel that way before? Like you go into the bank to meet them. They are making you feel like, well, you're not stupid now. This thing, like you should have just, and that's why they introduced 737. So they are telling you, if you're not retarded, stay in your house and use that 737. And Access Bank will encourage you. Come to our branch. We'll help you out with your problem, right? Access Bank will encourage, when you come, they'll not tell you, go and use the online banking. But they'll still encourage you to come in, talk to us, let's know what your problem is. But GTB, as you're on the queue, they're coming to meet you. Come. What do you want? Yeah, like what do you want? You not tell them. You not take it to a phone. Have they done it to anybody here before? They've not done it. They not take it to a phone and tell you to call this number. You're already in the bank. They tell you to call this number for customers. So you not call the number. Is that computer will talk to you to answer you, or someone else will now pick the call to answer you? But you're already in the bank. So that is that what? Yeah, so they don't want you to come into their bank. That's their organizational culture. That's their own culture. And the same way it is for their staff. So now, do you notice that for the female in GTB, they now have uniform? Have you noticed? They have this gray stuff that has orange zip. Access Bank too does, but GT, it has orange zip. It's nice, so you won't notice. It's nice, so you won't notice. Do you know why? You realize that a lot of people, these people are getting pregnant, seriously. So, and customers might want to come because they are seeing fine girls on the counter. But when we give you uniform, they will stop coming to the bank and start using star 737. So for the breastfeeding women who get pregnant, they have a zip. So all you just need to do, just enter the room, unzip it, breastfeed your baby if you have to, zip it back, come outside, and you enter and you attend the customers. So you cannot take it personal. If you have very fine skirt and blouse you want to wear to work, and they say, wear this one. The most annoying is UBA. And one very annoying red jacket. Can you not allow them sew their jacket by themselves? Do you know, that's the funniest. That's the funny part. Do you know they don't allow them sew the jacket themselves? They actually bring the tailors in to sew it for them, and you cannot complain. So if they, that's funny. So if they sew anything for you, you take it like that. So sometimes you are wondering, what do you think is faded? You don't think the person wants to wear faded suit, but they say you must wear it every day. Which day will you wash it? Is that what? They gave you only one. They gave you only one. And if you're wearing two suits, one, you're interchanging. Won't it fade? Even your shirt that you're wearing one in a week, is it not fading? So the jacket, they give them one, and they say you have to wear it every day and you must make it neat. How would you do it? You have to start on Sunday, then wear it. So when will you give it to a dry cleaner? On Friday evening. And you're collecting it on, God will bless you, your dry cleaner will bring it on Monday afternoon. You get queries. So who wants to risk that? So just come and wear it. So you wonder, why is the bank not complaining that the suit is faded? Or do you think they don't say it? Obviously they do. So you wonder why they're not complaining. It's the traditional culture. Leave it, wear it like that. It's just red. Continue. So some you might like, some you might not like. So just stick to those organizational culture. For them, they believe it helps them to grow their businesses. And the last is empathy. So within the workplace, business ethics requires that you have empathy. Empathy also ties with mutual respect. You respect the cleaner. So you know a cleaner can make them sack an MD. Do you know? In Nigeria, a cleaner can make them sack an MD. All he needs to do, maybe I will lose my job, is to carry one important document on his table and put in the shredder. Yes, no. So if you are wicked to the cleaner, just carry your pay slip or your check and shred it. Or one important thing. So you probably will not understand why empathy or mutual respect is important. It's so that it can allow the workplace be very comfortable for everybody. I mean, so these things look like things that are very simple, very trivial, but I tell you, erect organizations, erect businesses, empathy and mutual respect. The fact that you are the boss does not mean you have the access or the right, or you can just talk to anybody just anyhow. I mean, trust me, the gatesman can ensure that you sleep in the office. All he needs to do is to make sure that when everybody have gone home, he deflates your tire around 9:30. Because you've been mean to him. You just deflate your tire around 9:30. When you will see organizer that will pump the tire, like he will be the one helping you to go around with organizer. You tell your Oga, bring 500 naira, get one organizer for that place. You collect your money. Go to Indomie joint, eat Indomie and tea and bread. Come back, okay, you don't close safe. And the money will give me, I use a carry bike. You really make 15 naira to give the bike man, collect extra money again. And you get one place, and I mean, so these things happen. You take Uber home, well, just these days, so you can do Uber. But yeah, some people don't do Uber. They say it's not safe. Yeah, no people don't do Uber. Well, like doesn't do Uber. Now, so empathy and mutual respect help businesses grow because it helps people connect within businesses. Now, 2:30 is my time. Now, the final thing that I want to mention, and that's because you guys are zooming into investment banking, is while you're going into an organization or going into anywhere, particularly at the body stage of your career, you need to be open-minded. Okay? You need to be very, very open-minded. A lot of organizational culture will meet you as a shock, and you wonder, really? be open-minded to adapt to it and to learn. Reason being that you would use this organizational culture to also build some other organizational culture when you go to other places. So when they say always come to work as early as 7 o'clock, when you go to places where you have to resume at 8 o'clock, it won't be an issue for you. In fact, at that point, you will then collect the award for most punctual because you come to work earlier than other people because you're already used to it. Everything in the workplace or around the business is meant to help you, sharpen you, develop the business, develop yourself, and develop the other business you'll go into. On that note, I think I end my session on business ethics. Thank you so much. I'd like to take your questions. So random questions around business, stepping into the workplace and all that, if you have. Any question? Okay. Thank you so much. I look forward to getting feedbacks from you on the session. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is Odun here? Yes, who's coming and carry me back now? Who's coming? So who's coming? Like, wanna?
Did he travel?
He said he was going to.
Are you calling?
Because Mayaki is finishing in class at 10, like 3 o'clock. And Mayaki.
What if like you come into an organization and you find out that what you expected, maybe the organization culture is not the same, what you're finding, maybe there are people like expect that you say resumption time is 6, you start saying you to work by 9, you already start moving, like you start coming towards them, how do you keep that?
Okay, what is right is right, what is wrong is wrong. Okay, let me take down your phone. So someone who is shy just asked me a question, so I'll just take that quickly. She said, what if you, because my driver is not here. I'm happy to take that question because my driver is not here. Please let me call him. Let me ask him where he is. Okay, so he said, what if you get to an organization? Resumption time is 8 o'clock and everybody comes at 9 o'clock. What do you do? Like almost everybody comes in at 9 o'clock. So what do you do? So what do you do? So business ethics. What is right, what is wrong. Just resume at 8 o'clock. Resume at your own 8 o'clock. Now let me tell you the upside of that. It might help you start your own work. You're not collecting the same salary. Your salary is all tied together. Let them badmouth you. So if something goes missing, they'll say you stole it. So if something goes missing, are you scared they will say you stole it or they will ask you? Now there are two things. Some people don't want them to ask them. Some people, if you ask them, something is missing around where you are, they start crying. They did not even touch it. They've not seen the thing before. But just that you said, but this thing, you came in early and this thing is missing, they start crying. I did not steal. Okay, did you cry that much? See, what is right, what is wrong. Emotion is different from business ethics. Now, we have not said spiritual ethics or we have not said personal ethics. We said business ethics. Now, when it comes to something is missing, that's like on another level. But you're supposed to resume at 8 o'clock, resume at 8 o'clock. It's not speaking. It will affect your appraisal. Now just imagine you clock in and it's supposed to affect your appraisal. The people that are coming at 9 o'clock, you don't know, Yoruba will say, who understands that? Nobody. Okay, you don't know what's living inside of them. They are probably very close to the MD, and the MD can help them say that they came in early. So for you, so it doesn't affect your own appraisal. If 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock, resume at 7:45. You start your own work earlier than they do. So most likely you will finish earlier. Some people are morning people. They work better in the morning. Some people don't like distraction. whichever way, if 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock, just assume at 8 o'clock. Let them resume at 9 o'clock. If they say something is missing, they will find it. Nobody will say because you come in early, you should pay for what is missing. Nobody will say you should pay for what's missing. You're the one that comes in early. Any organization that say because you're the one that comes in early, you must have stolen it. I'm sorry to say, I think you should resign because they are not promoting what they probably. They're not promoting good ethics. Obviously, people start coming 9 o'clock is even early. People are coming 10 o'clock, but people will come early at 9 o'clock. They will park their car somewhere far to wait for the person that will enter first. Yes, now. So before they say I stole again, enter first. People have entered, they'll be ahead. Me too, I will enter. But you see, people will be at work. They will be at a shop eating rice, waiting. When they see that, Mr. Joseph has entered the office. Okay, no problem. Me too, I can enter now. Before they say I stole anything, no organization will penalize you or say refund what is missing. So it's 8 o'clock. Resume at 8 o'clock, and keep your values. Any question around that? Okay, thank you very much. So did I answer your question? Okay, thank you. You see, Odin is not speaking. Hey, Jesus. I should have just driven myself.
I'm going to send the question by 3 days.